other girls. I love my handbag collection. Us, we love our fightwear. Because you obviously can't like handbags and like fight sports or like martial arts. That's obviously, you can't do both. You're either a martial arts girly or you're a handbag girly. Really? Is that what we're doing? Because this whole, oh, let's put down other women to make ourselves seem cooler is getting very old, or it has already gotten very old. Hello BabyQueers, welcome back to my channel. We're doing Not Like Other Girls again, because I am very much not like the other girls. Because I'm not a girl. Either way, that's what we're doing today. I know I'm gonna get mad, because these people are very frustrating, but okay. We love getting mad on this channel, apparently. So that's what we're doing. But you know the deal. Before we continue, y'all gotta get hydrated. So grab some water, or some tea, or whatever else you like to drink. And then we'll check out some more frustrating memes. Are you hydrated? Good. Let's go. Man, your dream girl isn't drinking at the bar. She's running 50 miles deep, cartaloading pounds of pasta, peeing herself to get her PR, and removing purple toenails. Because every men's dream girl is the same? As if men aren't different people and have different interests, so obviously their ideal woman would be different? I can't tell if you're more insulting to women or men right now. Because you're kind of making all men seem the same, but you're also putting down other women to make yourself seem better. So that's double the coolness factor, I guess. But listen, if this is the type of girl you're, if you love working out and, you know, taking care of your health in that way and not going to the bar, cool. No one said you couldn't do it. But you know that not everyone has the same values or goals in life, right? You don't have any tattoos anywhere? No, honey. Would you put a bumper sticker on a Bentley? Some people would. Some people probably would. And also, I'm not sure this is better. Because yes, you're kind of insulting people with tattoos. People do it a lot. I think people with tattoos are very used to people making fun of them or thinking they're like criminals or awful people. I think we're used to it. Like even today we were joking around about that at work, being like, okay, well, we both have tattoos. Yeah, I guess we're gonna go rob a bank later today. And then we're gonna like go to a grocery store and rob the cashier or something, or burn down a gas station, you know, all these things. Because people with tattoos are used to it, and I don't even have a lot of tattoos. Like, I don't have, like, full sleeves. But this whole... No, but I'm better because I don't have tattoos. It's ridiculous. Listen, if you don't want tattoos, don't get tattoos. No one's saying you have to. But then again, you don't have to be like, no, but I'm better because I did this thing or because I didn't do this thing. Because... it's your personal choice. That doesn't mean it has to be everybody else's choice. When you change your toddler's room theme because it's getting popular and everyone is using it and you like being unique. Honestly, go off. But then again, if you post pictures of videos, especially if you have like a larger following on TikTok or something, if you then post pictures of videos of your toddler's room, be like, oh my god, look at this cool design I did. You're aware a lot of people are gonna be like, okay, no, that is really pretty. I want to do this for my toddler's room too, and copy it or do something similar. You know that's gonna happen. Why you pressed about it? I mean, listen, if you want to change it again, then change it again. But your toddler isn't gonna care. And doing things not because you think they're actually gonna look good to you, but because you need to feel different and unique also seems kind of strange. It seems like a very much like something I would have done as a teenager, and like a lot of teenagers would do, is to be like, no, but I need to be different. I need to be unique, and just kind of focus on that versus just kind of figuring out what you actually enjoy doing or wearing or doing with your hair. You know, it seems like a teenager thing to do. But go off, I guess. For all the guys whose girls don't owe Stanleys, let me guess. She's tattooed, jet black hair, 5'3", and drinks Red Bull. I'm not sure this is... I want to say this is better, but you're aware that there are more than 2 types of women. It's either woman who owns Stanley cups, or a short woman with jet like dyed hair and tattoos and everything. That's the only 2 types of women that exist now. Way to oversimplify it again, I guess, because that's literally all the subreddit is. Be like, no, but there are 2 types of women and I'm clearly the better one. I mean, he's not saying he's the better one, he's just saying his girlfriend or his type in women is better, which seems just as strange. Listen, if that's your type, cool, go off, you know, but still, a way to oversimplify it. Me, about to make fun of the 10-year-old Stanley Cup girls on TikTok. Me remembering that I used to be a Hydro Flask girl in middle school. We're gonna let these people go on their own timeline and do what they want. Listen, if you're super pressed about what teenagers do, I'm gonna think it's a bit strange, because they're like children or teenagers. A lot of the things they do or are interested in maybe not make sense to you, but that doesn't mean they don't get to do these things. You can think they're cringe and move on, you know. And sometimes, yeah, these people would do with a little bit of like retrospection and be like, wait, we did like questionable things at that age too. So your generation might have been Hydro Flasks, and now it's Stanley Cups. There will always be trends that a lot of people from the outside are probably going to think is weird and unhinged. But listen, if you don't think Stanley Cups are cool, don't get a Stanley Cup, I guess. I came to college eager to get zooted out loud and get my back blown out. I found out I'm a mid-bitch with terrible vibes. Brand new sentence, mid-bitch with terrible vibes. That is certainly a sentence I've never heard before. And meanwhile, I went to college to study/further my education and not act like a fucking party girl. You are a mid-bitch with terrible vibes, and no, you can't share my stash, lady. I mean, listen, yeah, going to college to get an education makes sense, right? But you are still aware that a lot of people do just kind of go for the experience. Or at least that's part of the reason they decide to go. Like, I'm not saying a lot of people go there just for that. And you are also aware that when people say, oh, I went to party and have my back blown out, they're not necessarily saying that's the sole reason they're going. You're aware that these people probably also went for the education. It's maybe not as important to them as it is to you, apparently, but that you don't know this person. And you want to go around insulting them because their values are different from your own. Okay, sure. Again, just go off, I guess. I think it's rude and unnecessary, but alright then. Me with a $7 iced coffee on my way to Target for the 3rd time this week. I wonder how many of the people who are obsessed with their Target runs and think it's funny that they spend hundreds of dollars on decor and cups turn around and complain they'll never own a house. Maybe if you didn't need 68 tumblers, 4 different color Stanleys, junk drawers filled with crap from the $-5 spot, the 9 different blankets you just had to have, makeup, clothes, etc., maybe that would add up in your bank account over the years. Yeah, you're just so much better and cooler. Congratulations. I am the only woman that doesn't care about Target, I guess. Nah, neither do I. It's almost boring there. I don't, and I don't do Starbucks either. Same, I've only been once and didn't care for it. I'm not sure I want to come for this because, listen, these women are finding women they got along with because they have similar values, right? Go off. Could still do without the undertones of this is my opinion and anyone who has a different opinion and likes different things is trash. You know, it could very, very much do without those undertones. But listen, if that's what you're into, honestly, the first comment is the worst of just being so judgy about it. Because even if you spend like $8 on your coffee and go to Target, probably, yes, it would definitely add up. But it's the same with like people telling people who smoke that they should stop because it would save them so much money. Because yes, technically it would. But that's assuming they wouldn't spend the money on something else. And not realizing that we all have things we like spending money on that isn't a necessity in that sense. But listen, if something stops you from being bored out of your mind with your life, or hating your life, I'm not saying it's a necessity, but it kind of is if it keeps your mental health alive, right? So, what are you doing? Why do you care so much about what other people do with their lives? You know, just being like, this person likes drinking coffee and getting a coffee from Starbucks and going to Target. Okay, I don't like to do those things. And just move on with your day. No? No, that's just something I do? Okay, sure. No offense, but I have a feeling that girls on this app don't know any car models except for Porsche 911. I'm not a girl and I don't know a lot about cars. I couldn't name too many different car types. If you remove like the logos or the brands from cars, I may or may not, probably more will not be able to tell which brand of car it is. Like, I don't care about cars. If you care about cars and you think cars are cool and you pride yourself in knowing a lot about cars, okay, cool. But just going like, no, but other girls are so stupid because they don't. Again, it's just unnecessary. What are you doing? I mean, I guess that's the summation of this video and the subreddit is why y'all doing unnecessary shit and getting mad at other people having different interests. You know, but still, why? I'm not like other girls. I'm worse. Listen, I mean, do I hate this bag? Kind of, yes. Do I think it would be a really funny thing to say when a guy is flirting with you and pulling the, oh, you're not like other girls, to just say this and then walk away? In that case, I think it would be really, really funny. So I'm not too mad at this. Like, we've seen worse on the subreddit, let's be honest. Hers, not his. Again, maybe the bar is too high in sense of, like, you know, but I kind of almost even understand the sticker. Because most people will look at this car and be like, no, but that's a man's car. So I can kind of understand the sticker of being like, no, but I'm a woman. I'm proud to be a woman. And I want people to know this is my car. Because honestly, maybe I just like it because it kind of plays against people's like notions of what a woman should do or should be and what a man should do and like should own. You know, maybe I just like it because it plays against that, but we've honestly just seen so much worse. Falling for being not like other girls. Cringe. I don't know if this is allowed here, but I just wanted to share with everyone that this Argentinian guy I met sent me this voice message when he was trying to convince me to go on a date with him about how I have a different energy than girls usually do and beautiful eyes. When I was listening to it, I was smiling and blushing, and now I'm checking myself big time. Like, bro probably says this to every girl he wants to get with. I let it work on me for a second, but I'm glad I called myself and him out on what that really was. This is what I mean. If someone does this, because honestly, I think a lot of girls have been taught that other girls are bad, and if someone thinks you're different than other girls, that's a good thing. So I can kind of understand this initial reaction of feeling kind of flattered, but I'm glad you quickly realized that it's a stupid trope and not actually a compliment. Because, again, I mean, if the only reason you're confident is because you're constantly putting other people down and be like, no, but I'm so much better because I know stuff about cars, or I don't get $8 coffee. If that's the only way you can feel good about yourself, then you're not actually that confident. Or even comfortable in your skin, probably. But anyways, glad you called yourself out on it and realized what's going on. And again, if you would have just texted and be like, no, I'm worse, and blocked him, again, I would kind of think it's funny. I don't know how to put on fake eyelashes, but I know how to make raw chicken shelf stable. That, I don't know why, but raw meat and shelf stable sounds wrong in the same sentence. It sounds wrong. Do I generally kind of think having skills like these are cool? And, you know, like being able to make your own food and know how to prep it so it stays, like, shelf stable. Do I think it's really cool? Yes. But again, I could do without the undertones of, no, but because other girls aren't interested in this and would rather know how to do makeup, therefore I'm better. It could do without those undertones, but apart from that, cool. Good job. Call me horse girl all you want, but the shoes on my feet cost more than your Air Forces. Yeah, I think people know writing is freaking expensive. I think people know. And honestly, again, maybe it's just because we've seen so much of us, but I can honestly still kind of understand this. I mean, you probably get very sick of the, oh my god, you're a horse girl, you must be crazy kind of comments, because yeah, people do generally seem to think that horse people are crazy, and they might have a point. They might. But then again, a lot of people with a lot of like different hobbies or sports are kind of weird, and you're probably not gonna get along with them, because you really cannot get along with everyone. But just going around and insulting random people still seems really weird. Just being like, that seems strange to me. I'm just gonna go about my day and maybe not interact with you because I just really don't care about writing. Would be a fair point. But no, people like insulting other people, apparently. Yes, women suck. We know. There's a reason the forefathers knew their place and put them there. Don't even think women suck. I think by allowing sim culture and feminism to become so dominant, and then combining that with social media, we have created an environment that makes it extremely difficult for women not to fall in the depth of narcissism. Nope, your gender just sucks overall. You would be an undignified whore too if you were better looking. You're not fooling anyone, you just resent the women that can get away with it, so you created this persona, or you'd just be posting slutty selfies and expecting things for breathing. To sum this up, far-right woman tries to befriend the MRAs. They do not accept her. Shocking. Shocking. Because, again, if you're just saying things to put on other people to feel better about yourself, you're not gonna feel better about yourself. And at the same time, doing this will not make other people actually like you. Or get guys to think you're cool. Because yeah, at first, men might find it nicer to deal with, you know, when you shit-talk other women with them. You know, they might enjoy that at first, but that doesn't mean they're actually gonna respect you as a person more, or like you more. So, Yeah, I mean, this dude was just brutally outright honest with you and just was like, no, but I just hate all women. And normally I think we appreciate honesty, but in that case it's kind of hard to. While some women are searching for a rich husband, I'm focusing on being a rich wife. Okay, go off. Go off. That's literally all I have to say about this one. Just, if that's what you want to focus on, that's go off. This is one of those things that is noticeably true IRL for me. This isn't just an online LARP. Crunchy moms are engaged in full-on, fully self-aware biological warfare against the left. While you were too busy having abortions and having gay sex, we got married and had kids. You're calling having kids biological warfare. You do realize that some kids, like especially if you still have like very young children, they will probably just kind of repeat the things you tell them and just agree with you. But you're aware that as people grow up, they start forming their own opinions. And yeah, some people whose parents are like very right-leaning are gonna end up that way. But you're aware that the opposite is also true, that some people will just go the completely opposite direction because they looked at you and were like, I do not want to become like that. How can you be such a dickhead to other people? And just become so far left, like you couldn't even imagine. You're aware that's also possible, so it's not really biological warfare to have kids in general, but it's also not gonna work because you might try to teach them not to be woke, but it's not gonna work. And also I'm very interested in the people that are having gay sex and abortions. Interesting. Do you bring a book to school to actually read it, or just to look mysterious and different? No, I'm just not like other girls. I did not in fact bring a book to school. I brought headphones, because I couldn't be bothered with people, which honestly still seems like a fair approach to me. I find large gatherings of people very annoying to deal with, and very tiring, so I stand by that. A hoe face? Never. I'm someone's daughter, someone's future wife, and someone's future mom. Okay. Okay. Again, you're not better or worse than other women just because you choose to sleep around or not sleep around. That's just your personal choice. And you get to make that, sure, but again, putting around other women just because they made a different choice seems rude and unnecessary. Be a rebel, get married, start a family, teach your kids to think for themselves, buy land, turn off the news, homeschool your kids, grow your own food. Can I ask how teaching your kids to think for themselves, but also not allowing them any other perspective than the ones you give them, seems very contradictory? Like, if you want them to think for themselves, cool, good, something we should be teaching our kids, but you're aware that we learn by looking at different things and different perspectives. That's how we form our own opinions, by being like, okay, this is the one that seems more aligned with me and what I think is right. You're aware that being like, okay, no, this is the thing you should do. This is how you should live your life. You're not really teaching your kids to think for themselves. No? Okay. Other girls' hairstyle versus my hairstyle. I do not have the patience for makeup or for fancy hairdos. So I'm definitely, like, as soon as my hair is long again, like I had long hair for a while, it was literally just kind of in a bun. Or just like tied up in a ponytail or something. I don't have the patience for fancy hairdos. But then again, if you like doing these, if you like getting up half an hour early to braid your hair because you think it's pretty, go off. You know, no one's saying you have to, but no one's saying it's a bad... Well, okay, these people are saying it's a bad thing if you do, apparently, but... Why do you care so much about what other people do with their hair? Girls who understand being healthy over being skinny, whole milk over oat milk, staying in versus going out, real meat over fake meat, mocktails over cocktails, low impact strength training over HIIT, meal prep Sundays over all day brunch, 4 a.m. wake up versus 4 a.m. bedtime, walks over runs. Does it count as controversial? First of all, I think this is probably something a lot of people will agree with in the first place. But again, was it really necessary to be like, no, this is controversial because I'm obviously right, but people think I'm crazy? The vibes are not great. Not great. Listen, if that's the way you want to live your life, because you think that is the right way to live your life, that is cool, but that doesn't really mean you get to put down other people for the way they choose to live their lives. Because that's literally kind of none of your business. I am not a Stanley Cup girl, I'm a 32-ounce white-mouth mason jar girl. Okay. I'm honestly not even coming for this, because it somehow has less of the vibes of, okay, no, but this first type of girl is really bad, and I think they suck. It doesn't really have those vibes. You know, it's just oh yeah, people might think I'm a Stanley Cup girl, but I'm actually not. I actually prefer mason jars. It's giving more facts about yourself versus putting down other girls. But again, maybe I'm just so done by the rest of the subreddit that I'm not getting the vibes anymore because they're less there, you know? But I'm not getting those vibes, actually. Your sugar daddy took you to Greece and bought you Chanel in exchange for your soul. Meanwhile, I'm making gut-healing bone broth to reverse years of pharma damage. And the vibes are back. They're back. And I've had it. I've had it. I really cannot take much more of this because the vibes are... I find these people so annoying. Because why? Listen, you could just be like, hey, guys, look at the cool bone broth I made. Like, it's really good for you. It's really good for your gut health. Like, make gut healing bone broth with me, you know? Kind of do a tutorial, do whatever, but it just seems so unnecessary. Y'all. Very reaffirming for us child-free folks. My body looks great. Yeah, you didn't have to imply hers doesn't look great or shame her. You're a woman too. Do better. Can I just have do better as the title of this video? Because it's very that. Like, listen, if you think the body type you have looks better, okay, like, you're allowed to have a type, you're allowed to think certain body types look better than others, you're allowed to think some bodies look worse than others. But does that mean you get to go around and be like, no, but okay, I think I look so much hotter than you. Like, I think your body looks disgusting. And go around saying that to people? No, obviously that's not okay. That's rude. And I know y'all literally don't even care anymore, apparently, because otherwise you wouldn't be going around commenting this under random people's posts. Listen, if you don't want kids, cool. I don't want kids either. It doesn't actually make us better people because we're deciding not to have kids. That doesn't make us better people. Like, what are you doing? If you came into her life and she didn't glow or gain weight, bro, you're not the one. Okay, honestly, the gaining weight in a relationship is an American women thing. We Latinas are the opposite. When we're in love, we want to look better for our men. That's why Latina age like fine wine. We're a different breed, babe. Again, the vibes are very much back. Or they're still here, I guess. Why? I'm pretty sure you could have found a way to phrase this in a way that's more factual versus just being incredibly judgy. Like, if you say, I haven't experience that in our culture. Like in our culture, it's usually like the opposite. That if you're in a happy relationship, you try to take care of yourself better. But you're somehow phrasing it in a way that is so incredibly judgy. But like, no, but they're letting themselves go. Ignoring the body shaming aside, of just being like, no, but they're literally letting themselves go. That's disgusting. You know, even if we're ignoring that, it's still judgy. I can't even think anymore. I literally... I knew I was gonna get mad on the subreddit. And in a way, I kind of like ranting, because I am so confused by these people. Like, I'm aware I'm getting mad at people who are literally just going around being judgy to other people. Because I'm aware I am judgy about these people, because why do you care so much? Right? But I care about them apparently caring because they're just being rude about it. Like, if you're deciding to be rude to other people and body shame other people and post mean comments and just put down other people to make yourself feel better, I feel like that's understandable to get mad at that. But you're all just getting pressed about the weirdest things. Of, okay, no, but they have different interests, or they don't know anything about the topic I'm interested in, like cars. Y'all. Anyways, we're calling it a day. I cannot. I just can't. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed my rants. Kind of a feeling you did if you're still here, you know, but yeah. I hope you're hydrated. And I'll be back in a couple days with a video that is gonna be less frustrating to me.